When Hector sold to Infinite Esports, he also sold either the majority control of the company, so above 50%, or he sold his board votes. Either is really bad. But either way, he sold decision-making power in the company. Hector presumably owned close to 100% control of the company, or at least he owned a little bit more, enough to sell majority control, or at least above 50%. So Hector owns OpTic, okay? And that means that Hector has something called board votes and control of the company. But for a reason I'm still unclear on, Hector just decides to sell the company to a VC-type entity. So VC being venture capitalists, people that take funding to invest in other companies with the idea of getting a return. Sells the company and the control rights, this is really important, to Infinite Esports. Or Infinite Entertainment, I guess, is the company. As far as I can tell, Infinite Entertainment is some kind of like VC like holding company or something, but I didn't get any information on them. It's really hard to find. So this is, I guess at this point, there's a little bit of drama about what happens. And I always, so people that are new to my stream, like I always try to stay away from the drama, and I try to keep as objective as possible, like what's happening in a business sense and what it means. So there's some drama that happens between Hector and Infinite. But the important thing to remember here is that there's two concepts that Infinite controls. So the first one is they likely control, so Infinite likely controls board votes and control. And Infinite also has a concept called first right of refusal, which means that Infinite is able to basically say, if another investor is going to come in and buy and sell the company, Infinite gets to choose who that is. So this is not an abnormal thing. This is very common in merger and acquisition. Okay, so everything seems to be working out or whatever, and Hector, I think, is still operating CEO for the time until Immortals, which is since rebranded under IGC, or Immortals Gaming Club, decides that they want to go back into the LCS, and OpTic has a spot. And Riot Games has a ruling where you can buy spots in the LCS if they vet the team and they're willing to sell their spot. So IGC, Immortals Gaming Club, it's important to understand who runs this, because it's a lot of hard pipe-hitting people. The people that own Immortals Gaming Club are no joke, right? There's Lionsgate in here. Michael Milken is in here. Then in the Series B, which is the primary second investment, you've got Meg Whitman, you've got John Griffin, you've got AEG, Lionsgate doing another investment. You've got a prominent VC firm in Santa Monica, that March Capital Partners. So these guys are no joke. These are serious players. And they've raised $30 million. And they want back into the LCS, and they don't really care if they have to destroy OpTic to do it. So Immortals makes an offer to Infinite Entertainment. Now, going back to Infinite's rights, Infinite, without Hector approval, can very much agree or disagree to this offer. So it sounds like they are inclined to agree with the IGC offer. So Hector starts to try to raise money to get control back and to buy out Infinite. And there, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in the community that a lot of people think that Infinite is intentionally holding back that sale to Hector, even though Hector apparently has allegedly raised more money than the IGC offer. But that is probably not the reason, and I'm reaching here, right? Because I don't truly know. I think none of us know that Infinite is doing that. Infinite is a VC company. And what Infinite wants to do is Infinite wants to do two things. They want to 3 to 5x their return on investment in X amount of time, usually 2 to 4 years. And they want reputation. So if Infinite sells back to Hector, they're not getting number 2. And my guess is what's happening is Infinite is going to sell to IGC, because they want the rep on their portfolio of selling a company to Lionsgate, Bake Whitman, etc. Now we can kind of get into sort of like the opinion of what is happening, okay? When you partner with an investor, you have to make a very difficult decision where what we're really talking about is the terms of the merger and acquisition agreement. And Hector, for whatever reason, we don't know, sold rights for OpTic to Infinite Esports and Entertainment. Maybe this was his first sale, and maybe that he didn't have M&A representation, or maybe he did and they didn't clarify it. Maybe he thought the money was worth it, right? We can't know the reason for that. But the reality is that as sad as it is, as a person that has known Hector, and I respect him a great deal for what he's built, I can't tell you how much I respect him for that. I live in a shadow of what he's built compared to what I've built, right? Like he's an amazing individual. And a respectable individual, a person that's kept his head above water. That this is a really unfortunate circumstance that has happened to him, but unfortunately there's nothing illegal about this, and there's nothing going on that is below water here. Hector knowingly sold his rights and or board votes or first right of refusal to Infinite Esports and Entertainment. Infinite Esports and Entertainment is well within their rights to decide, as the primary investors and controlling interest in OpTic, if they want to sell the brand to IGC or Hector. That is well within their rights to do. And it may not be in Infinite's best interest to sell it back to Hector because of the reputation problem. So I feel for Hector, I really do. But when you get into a M&A situation, you get into what is basically a marriage contract with your investor. And you better be very sure that those people are going to have your best interests in mind, because if they don't, this kind of thing happens.